When I went to become chief executive of a football club, I had no interest in it, none at all. Even less interest in that than I had been a professional footballer. But the guy who bought the club didn't know much about football. But I'd watched the way he'd run his businesses before that. And because he'd had an incredibly personal relationship with all his workforce, he treated them, he gave percentages of, at the end of every year, a percentage of, the company's profits were given to them out with their contracts. Just, no, you've worked really hard, you have a percentage of this. I mean, how many people are really doing that without shares on the top of it, right? So I like the cut of his jib because of that. Now, if you can work with that, now, of course, that it didn't last because business gets ugly and football business gets ugly as well. So the dichotomy of going into a business and keeping this purity, but I think it works. I honestly think, if you look over the years, I think, Peter Jones, John Lewis is a good example of it, how it actually works as an incredibly successful business. But you're not squeezing every penny of it. You're not squeezing every hour out of everyone, including not just your workers on the floor, but your people in the staff at the top as well. You have to understand there's a life to live while we're doing this. So I've certainly didn't find it initially difficult when that little period happened where you are a chief executive and you have to make those ugly decisions. But then it just got harder and harder and harder until a point where it was impossible. And then it was saying either to be that person and change into that person in that business, or else do something else. No surprises, I chose to do something else. But many businessmen decide not to. They decide to go, okay, then I will go down that other route. And I could hear many businessmen listening to me just now going, oh, you're so naive, and that's just the way it is. Yeah, and I get that. But I've seen too many trails of pain, and worse than pain, that have been left behind, these people who never look back, who don't see the torture and the pain that they inflict. They see profit, they see and I'm afraid I always see what's in the wake. And because I always see what's in the wake and always look at what's in the wake, I can do it. But, two different outlooks in life. I don't know if there's a right and wrong, but I know what mine's is.
It sounds like your values are very core to all your decision making. So the outcome you're attached to is more the outcome being aligned to your values than the outcome.
Yeah, but they can still win it. You can still be a winner. You can still be a winner. Still be successful. You can still, and there are organizations and structures and companies and people out there who can do it that way. It's a wee bit harder. And actually, your profit might be smaller. Yeah. But then the profit in your society is vastly bigger. And I think that's important.